part of managing my triggers, I've learned to have to be honest and to find ways to express what or why I'm responding in a certain way. So like the example that I gave, where I wanted to know where my husband is going, what is he going to do, who is he going to hang out with, and so on and so forth. I had to explain to him where I was coming from, why I was feeling anxious, why I felt that information would put me at ease. And with time, it has helped a lot, because then now he tells me in advance, like, oh, so on such day, I'm going to go hang out with my friends. And in so doing, I mentally prepare myself that, oh, okay, on such a day, I'm going to be either alone or I'm going to have to find something to do. So that can look like hanging out with my girls, or that can look like finding some activity that I can do with the boys, or that can look like watching a movie, or just generally I now mentally prepare myself, and I'm more compassionate towards myself, and I prepare myself in that I let myself know that he is just going out for a bit with his friends. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with me. It doesn't mean that he's abandoning me or rejecting me. I know this might sound a little bit crazy, but the things that go through our mind are so subtle, and they're things that we end up realizing after we have reacted as to why we were reacting in a certain way. So whilst a child may throw a tantrum, where they'll throw themselves on the floor and cry and all that, we as adults don't throw those kinds of tantrums. It might look like binge eating, or it might look like continuously scrolling over social media, just feeling stuck and all that, or you call a friend and you all go on and on and on and on about all the ways through which your spouse or your partner doesn't care about you and all that, but it's just you reacting to the fact that they're going to be away from you for a bit, and not knowing that it is actually coming from an unhealed wound within you. So it could not be a rejection wound, it could not be an abandonment wound. I'm just giving examples from my own personal experiences. But if you find yourself in a state where someone, it could not be your spouse, it could be a sibling, it could be a friend, telling you that they're going away, and you find yourself reacting in a certain way that you normally wouldn't react, then there's probably something that your trigger is trying to reveal to you, and it's something that you must pay attention to and find a way to manage it and overcome it. So other ways in which you can manage your triggers is when you recognize your trigger, is to, sometimes you might need to breathe, sometimes you might need to ask for some space. If you realize that maybe perhaps whatever conversation you're having has brought about anger, you might ask to step away for a bit until you've cooled down and you've assessed the whole situation, and you recognize that this is literally just me being triggered because maybe they offended me in one way or the other, or perhaps they brought about something within you that you didn't even know was there. I'll give you an example of my kids. I didn't recognize how them asking me for help was a trigger. So I just noticed that each time they asked me for help, I'd feel just so rude. I would react with such rudeness towards them, because I felt like at their age I was already doing this or doing that, and I didn't recognize that it was coming from a place of being parentified as a child. So because of that, I would kind of treat them in that, can't you do that by yourself type of thing. And then after a while, I took a step back and I was like, why is it that every time they ask for help, I react to them so rudely, and I feel so bad? And then it's when I recognized that from a younger age, I did a lot of things on my own. And so because of that, I felt like they needed to do that as well. And then it took a lot of grace to honestly step back and recognize that they are asking for help because they're probably unable to do it. And either I can walk them through it, or I can give them physical assistance where I see that they literally do need like physical assistance. In some cases, I will often just offer them guidance or walk them through whatever it is that they've asked help for. So honestly, it's not easy, and sometimes, like I said, it's a test that you might have to keep taking and taking until you recognize the patterns, until you recognize what is really going on, and have a change of mind and see things from a different perspective and respond accordingly. So in my case, that meant me responding to the kids kindly and also drawing my boundaries, like I can't go this far, or I can only do this much for you. The rest of it, you have to do it on your own, and I'll guide you through it.